Let's start by having a look at some of the basics when using the Python node in Dynamo. Go ahead and open up a new Dynamo file. We can find the Python script node by navigating to Script and then Editor section in the Dynamo node menu. Here we'll find Python script. Click this to place it onto the workspace. You might also notice the Python script from string node. This takes a string for the input and doesn't have its own built-in editor, so we won't be using it for this course. The first thing you'll notice about the Python script node is that it appears very much like the list.create node in that we can increase the inputs on the left by pressing the plus symbol and reduce them by hitting the minus symbol. We can have as many inputs as we like on the left, but like most nodes, there is only ever one output on the right. Let's go ahead and open up the Python script editor by double-clicking the node. This is the default Python script that will appear when we create a Python script from scratch. The 4 lines at the top are essentially importing Dynamo geometry nodes. We'll learn more about this in the coming videos. When inputting data into the Python node, we need to use the word in. Currently on line 7, all inputted data is referenced by this data entering node word. We can see on the Python node that the inputs are specified with numbers. So in 0, in 1, and so on. We can specify what input we want to retrieve in our Python script by copying the input name. For example, if we change in to in, open square bracket 0, close square bracket, we are retrieving just the data that is input to input 0. To output data, we need to use the out word, as we can see on the last line of the script. At the moment, the script is outputting the number 0. We can check this by seeing the output preview on the Python script. To get more than one output, we can separate data we want to output by using a comma. This will output the piece of data as separate list items. To try this, after 0, let's add in 0, 1, and then hit the run bottom on the bottom left. This will execute the current state of our Python script in the Dynamo workspace. Great, so you can see that we're now outputting 2 numbers, 0 and 1. The 2 additional buttons along the bottom of the Python editor are for saving changes, which saves and closes the script in its current state, and revert. This will close the window and revert it to the state that it was in before we opened up the Python script, which is useful for removing unwanted changes. You'll also notice there's quite a bit of grayed out text in the script. This is Python's method of commenting out text. So anything after a pound symbol is interpreted as a comment by Python, and it won't be executed when the script runs. So for example, we can add in a comment, hello, and when we run the script, it won't read that hello word. This is useful for keeping track of what sections of code are doing. Throughout the course, wherever possible, I'll group pieces of code that we write together in this fashion. A great feature about Dynamo 2.0 is that we can have multiple Python windows open at the same time. This is great for copying code from one to the other, testing scripts together, and will generally save time opening and closing scripts. So for example, in Dynamo, using Control-C and Control-V to copy the Python script, I can now open up that new script and have 2 files to edit. The last thing we need to know about the Python node is what happens when something goes wrong, or how the node handles an error in our script. Fortunately, for the most part, the node will tell us specifically where the error is. For instance, if we change the input to get incoming data at a port that doesn't exist, for example, in 2, and then hit run, we get an error as the node shows up yellow, like all other Dynamo nodes that have failed. If we hover over the error bubble at the top, we can see that the bottom line shows us the error name, in this case index error, and this is telling us that the index is out of range. It then tells us the value that's caused the error is 2. The line above it shows us that the error occurred on line 7 of our script. In some cases, the description can be a little bit vague, but with practice picking up on errors in the Python script and why they are happening becomes simple. In any case, this is a very useful feature for finding bugs in our scripts.